What's up, everybody? It's Zach, the Big Kahuna, sleeping with the fishes. You talking to me? Forget about it. Listen, I just want to apologize and say that I'm sorry for taking so long to do a video. Got some things going on, whatever. That's there, and I want to say I'm going to talk about the Hall of Fame game, even though I know I'm late. I'm going to talk about Lamar Jackson, maybe a couple other things about the Ravens, and I'm not even going to talk about Chicago. Not nothing against them, just like there wasn't really much that they had out that I wanted to see. Like, it's maybe we'll talk about them. I don't know. I'm gonna talk about though mainly tonight's preseason games, today's, and I'm gonna talk about how people always say it doesn't matter. And if you're someone watching, just wanting to see your star players that's not gonna play, then okay, I get that. It doesn't matter to you because you're not seeing what you want to see, and that's fine. But to those guys playing in the preseason, those second strings, those rookie and everything, it matters because they're fighting for their jobs. They're freaking putting in the work and doing everything. So you know what? It is something. And you know what? For the people who are gonna watch it, I'm gonna give you some players like rookies on some of the teams to watch out for tonight when you're watching these games. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame game. Let's talk about Baltimore. Let's talk about Lamar Jackson. Mainly Lamar Jackson, okay? I was not disappointed. Lamar Jackson was everything I expected, a little more. Let me tell you something. Younger, I was a Michael Vick fan. Lamar Jackson reminds me of a Vick, a little better, okay? And I think, Colin Cowherd said it, and I'll agree with his statement the most. He was a first-round pick, too, and, you want your first-round pick to be your not your starting quarterback right away, but at some point. And he's more of a project. He's not like what I really do agree with Colin. He's not like Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, or all these other guys that, they're coming in and, even if they're not the starter right away, they're supposed to become the answer. Lamar Jackson is a project. Lamar Jackson is somebody where you have the right pieces around him for him to learn and you let him grow, he will become something great. And either at the end of this season we'll see a little bit of it, but mark my words, next year he will be the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens at some point early on in the season. I think week 1 next year, like not like this year, the year after coming up, and if not, then by week 2, but he will be a threat in this league very soon. Not this year. We'll see flashes of it. We definitely will. He will start a couple games this year, but Lamar Jackson will be a problem in this league. The things I liked, what I liked is, his running ability was everything I expected. He still needs to work on it, but he's got some of those moves in college, and some of it can transfer. Now it was only he was playing against a third string, second string, but still, he was still playing out there, and he was getting his time in. So let's talk about the good. He threw a touchdown. He also threw an interception. 4 for 10. Not a great completion percentage, but, I'm not giving him any slack. He's a rookie, but still, some of those throws he had to make that interception. You could play the card of all the receivers should have caught it, but he was really forcing that pass there. That's an interception. And usually when it's a tip ball, I'll be like, oh, you can't, I hate that that's not a stat for receivers. That one was Lamar's fault. He forced that pass there. But you know what? It does matter, but he's got time to learn right now in preseason. They're playing today, the Rams. Hopefully the Rams have some of their starters in. It would be a good tryout for Lamar if they put him in first string and let him go against that freaking that Rams defense if they have some of their starters in. I think they have the right things at Baltimore to set up Lamar Jackson with having a good future. Chicago, I know it's a preseason game. I didn't like that end call where they try to go for the win. I hope that coach doesn't think about, getting too ballsy. He starts ending up being like Ben McAdoo and freaking goes for a 4th down all the time and freaking 2 points. But, you know what? We'll figure it out, and maybe, he will do that, and he'll be a freaking genius, and he'll get a lot of them. But, you know what? I just didn't like it. And I think, Chicago has some good pieces. I like Taylor Gabriel. I miss that the Falcons got rid of him, but, we had other things. But, I think him or Allen Robinson are going to be Chicago's main receivers this year. Obviously, Gabriel will probably be their second or third receiver, but still, I think that, Chicago's receiving core will be very underrated. Mainly their running backs, Jordan Howard. But let me stop talking, let me talk about tonight. Let me talk about the games. Well, the things to watch out for in tonight's games, the rookies to watch when you're sitting there wondering, oh, who should I look out for? So let's start with somebody I've been trying to find out his name for a while. His name is, excuse me if I'm saying it wrong, Equanimus St. Brown. He's a receiver from Notre Dame. He was drafted, I think, in the 6th or 5th round by the Packers. And I promise you, by the end of today, and if you don't believe it, or the next 2 weeks in preseason, he will become the emerging star of the preseason, and he will eventually be one of the Green Bay starting receivers. Not over Devontae Adams or Cobb, but it'll be their 3rd receiver, maybe their 4th receiver. But let me tell you something. This kid, he's got height, he's got speed. He's going to give the Green Bay Packers everything they want him, and he will eventually become one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets besides Cobb and Adams. So he's someone to watch out for. And the other thing on Green Bay to watch out for tonight is the cornerbacks they drafted 1 and 2 in the first 2 rounds. Jari Alexander, Josh Jackson. The Green Bay's really been, they've always had like an alright defense, but their secondary for a while have always been iffy. So these guys are really fighting to see which one of them is gonna start or how good they can make Green Bay's secondary. So remember, Jari Alexander, and Josh Jackson are 2 people to watch out for in tonight's game on the Green Bay Packers in the secondary. And then Equanimus St. Brown is a receiver you should watch. Let's go to Cleveland. Take a sip of water because I'm going to say a lot here. Let's say the name I'm going to say that everyone's fucking going to probably have an orgasm about. Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he's someone to watch out for tonight. Even if he only starts for like a quarter, or he only plays like 2 or 3 series. I think he's going to have a good night. I think people are just expecting too much of him. I think, he's going to be learning process. He definitely will be out Tyrod Taylor. I think it'll be a close quarterback battle. But I think he's definitely going to be out Tyrod Taylor. I think Baker Mayfield is going to, be a pretty good emerging star in this league. I just think, people have... he was the first overall pick. You should have fucking high expectations. I just think, he's going to have an alright year. And everyone's going to, give him shit for it. But, Baker Mayfield's going to come back out. Do good things. Tonight, watch out for him. And the other person on Cleveland that's going to go very underrated, Nick Chubb, the running back from Georgia. The other running back you probably know from Georgia is Sonny Mitchell. He went to New England. So, Nick Chubb is more of a power back. He can catch the ball, but he can block, he can move the pile, and he's got some speed. I think he should be a starter, not right away. This is why you should watch out for him. He's going to be battling with some good running backs like Carlos Hyde and, who's the other guy? Yep. Duke Johnson. I think he beats them. I think if he does beat them, let's say if he doesn't, but for sake of argument, if Nick Chubb beats out Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson, he will have a total in scrimmage, not rushing, total scrimmage yards, 1,000 yards. Nick Chubb can be a threat in this league. He's to me, he's like a more mobile version, like a little faster version of Marshawn Lynch. He can catch the ball and shit too. So watch out for this kid, Nick Chubb. He's going to be a problem in this league. So, let me go to the Giants. Let me talk about, obviously everyone wants to see Saquon Barkley, how he's going to be, how he's going to transfer to the NFL. I do too. But I think somebody that not only I want to see, but also the Giants and Saquon want to see perform well or see how good they are, was who they got after Saquon Barkley. Their lineman from Notre Dame, Will Hernandez. To my knowledge, no relation with Aaron Hernandez. Will Hernandez is a big guy. He can move the pile as a lineman, and he's also able to go outside. I think the thing about Will Hernandez that's going to go, that's not going to be talked about is because he's a lineman, so a lot of people forget about that. I think it's important to know that if the Giants can get good linemen, plus they have Nate Solder. He might not start tonight. He should, just play a series to get into the flow with the line, because the Giants are going to have a completely different line this year. Him and Will Hernandez, if they perform well and they become everything the Giants want them to be, I think Saquon Barkley will be. Saquon and the Giants will have a very good year this year. Let me tell you something. A lot of people are giving shit for where the Giants got Saquon Barkley. And I'm not being, as I'm not a Giants fan, I'm not saying I hate them either. I'm not being biased. I'm just gonna flat out say, when the Giants drafted Odell, Giants fans didn't care that much until he started making one-handed catches and shit either. So I'm gonna tell you something. Saquon's gonna be a star in this league. He is. I watched him in college. I know it doesn't mean anything. College is a whole different sport. Anything could happen. But something? He's going to be a very good player. And if he can have help on his line, he will be a great player if he has a good line. Look at Zeke. I'll be honest. I was skeptical about Zeke, like anyone else. I don't know if anyone else was. But something? And I'm not giving credit to his line, because even though they are a great line, though, the Dallas Cowboys have a very great line. Even if the Cowboys didn't have a line, I still think Zeke would be top 5, top 10 running back, in my opinion, without Dallas's line. And that's my opinion. But let me get back to the Giants. I'm probably pissing off a lot of Giants fans talking about the Cowboys. One more guy to watch out for on the defense. They drafted right after Hernandez, Lorenzo Carter. The Giants, to me, got the best 1, 2, and 3 picks of the draft. One of the best 1, 2, 3 picks of the draft. With Barkley, great lineman in Hernandez, and Lorenzo Carter. I was surprised Lorenzo Carter fell that low, but they assessed the position. They needed a linebacker, where they also got Alec Ogletree. The Giants really needed to assess their defense, and they got a good player in Lorenzo Carter. Watch out for him tonight. See where they put him. I see them putting him at the outside, like blitzing, sending some, outside zones and stuff for him. He's an athletic guy, so he can get picks. I could see him getting a nice pick 6 tonight, a pick and a sack tonight. He's a good player, so watch out for Lorenzo Carter. I talked about the Packers, I talked about the Giants, I talked about the Browns. I got 2 more teams left. Let's talk about the Seahawks. Let's talk about the Seahawks. Let's talk about the name everybody wants to hear about. Let's talk about Shaquem Griffin, who has more one-handed catches than Odell Beckham. But listen, in all seriousness, Shaquem Griffin is honestly going to be another star player, too, to watch out for tonight. The one thing everyone's giving about him is his hand. So, let's see how the kid tackles. Let's see how the kid does in the NFL. Watch out for him tonight. I think he doesn't fail to impress. I think he's going to be a very hard hitter. But, I think Seattle is a project too. But he's, I think he's going to be, everything they expected and more in Seattle with Griffin. Another guy they don't talk about is the guy they got in the first round in Seattle. A position they needed was the running back. Rashard Penny. I was surprised he won the first round. I remember watching one of the bowl games he was in. This kid is a fucking stud. He is because he's a small player, he's like a combination of Darren Sproles and Marshall Faulk, if I have to use 2 older players. He can be a kick returner, he can run the ball, he can catch the ball. You can even, like Marshall Faulk, you can probably have him line up outside of receiver and he'll still do good. He's a small guy, but let me tell you something. He can move the pile. He's got speed. He's got everything you want. The Seahawks are going to start whoever they want, or J.D. McKiss or whatever. I think, in my opinion, the Seahawks would be stupid to not start this kid, Rashard Penny, right away. And if they don't, I hope somebody else will try to get him from them, because this kid deserves to be a starter. So tonight, watch out for him. He's going to be an X factor. The last team I'm going to talk about is the Buffalo Bills. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about run rookie, but I'm just talking about the position. Let's talk about Josh Allen. We got to watch out for him tonight. But realistically, both quarterbacks, Josh Allen, A.J. McCarron. Josh Allen and A.J. McCarron, to me, are going to be battling out for the quarterback position. I get Allen was a first-round pick, and everyone wants to be he's the automatic starter, and he is. But you want to know something? For some reason, I just see A.J. McCarron just coming out of nowhere and just taking it from him. I don't know why. I'm not saying Allen's a bad quarterback. He probably will be a good quarterback, but tonight, watch out for that. Watch out for A.J. McCarron to make some flashes. He's not a rookie. He's everyone remembers him from Alabama and everything he did with the Tide. So I think he's going to get his shot, and he's not going to fail to disappoint. I think everything in Cincinnati that happened was a fluke, because I'm not talking about Cincinnati extensively, okay? But I'm just going to tell you that Marvin Lewis has been stealing money from the Cincinnati Bengals since 2003. 2002, I forgot when he got the job. And the Bengals must be blind to still keep this man as their head coach and even give him an extension. Let me tell you something. Bengals are not going to the playoffs this year. And if they don't again, and Marvin Lewis isn't fired, I'm done with football. Because how can coaches have like 1 or 2 bad years and get completely fired, even having average years? And this man, Marvin Lewis, okay, spent every single playoff game he's been in, which is 4 playoff games, he's lost every single one of them. Now, you can only put so much on the coach saying that, the players have to play too. I get that, all right? But you want to know something? He's done the same thing in Cincinnati and had great players over the years and has done nothing with them, okay? This is Marvin Lewis's fault. Not over the years. You don't blame Ocho Cinco. You don't blame TJ Houshmandzadeh. Carson Palmer, yeah, he got hurt a lot too, but, he was pretty good. Recently, people wanted to blame Andy Dalton, and, to some extent, okay, I get it. He wasn't that great in the playoffs and shit, but you want to know something? I think they just need a new change-up, a new coaching staff, or just new head coach, okay? I don't think that we had the right look at A.J. McCarron in Cincinnati, that what we're going to see tonight in Buffalo. He is going to become the starter. We're going to see it's going to be a nice battle between him and Josh Allen. I think A.J. McCarron wins it, so watch out for that tonight. Well, everybody, that's all I'm going to talk about for today. I might do a video tomorrow about tomorrow's games. I probably will, honestly, because I've been slacking a lot. So, without further ado, I say goodbye to everybody. Have a nice day. Make great choices. And let's go Falcons. Have a great day.